a quick rest in peace to the legend, the icon DMX for his contributions to hip hop music and him being a spiritual, godly man. We'll definitely get more into DMX because I feel like that deserves an entire episode. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to talk about. So we just felt it was most respectful to start with that. But anyway, Habari Ghani, Hotep, Wagwan, how is everyone feeling? First things first, we have a guest. And it's very rude of us not to introduce our guest. Please, sir, introduce yourself.
What it do, baby?
Yes, sir.
My name's Romario Splat. It's good to be here. Yeah.
Good to have you,
It's good
man.
to have you, bro.
Our very first guest. Like,
That's a big honor still.
Yeah, really and truly.
Appreciate
Like,
it.
you got should we clap for ourselves, bro?
Yes, sir. Let's give ourselves a black hand, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? That's full deserved. But yeah, man. Happy to have you here. Thank you for coming. I have to apologise for my lateness because
I'm so glad you got onto that. Because let's talk about this.
I mean, no, let's not.
Yes.
I just want to say, like, apologies, innit? Like, obviously.
Because
And I'd love to have been here sooner, but.
Because if you see, Marz actually got here early. So you was even more late than the time we agreed. That's what's
so
crazy.
big up you, first guest, and you did all the time. You are amazing. I like that. Anyways, so a conversation that we were having, I think it was the last episode. We were just mentioning it like briefly.
Yes.
Film industry. A lot of conversations have been happening in recent years. A lot of things about diversity. Our stories being told within the cinema. Yeah, and then just in recent times as well, a lot of films have been coming out, directed by black directors, and then black actors getting more involved in it, having more lead roles within it. A film or a selection of films that came out last year, called Small Acts, premiered on BBC. Just a collection of short films, stories just around black British culture. One of the films called Lovers Rock. Lovers Rock.
Which is the second one. The first one was about the Mangrove 9.
Yeah.
Then the second one. Yeah. So please continue.
Yeah, so Lovers Rock. Romario, you were in it.
Not Lovers Rock still.
Oh, not Lovers Rock, really?
Not Lovers Rock. I was in Alex Wheatle.
Alex Wheatle.
Oh.
I like that one, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I will not lie. I didn't even watch that one.
I
still.
did. So
I've only watched the first.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Which
you could talk about
Lovers
that.
Rock though, because I was messing with Lovers Rock still.
You liked it?
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I saw a range of different perspectives on that one. I saw a lot of the older generation that were there kind of had certain... Overall, they liked it. There was particular sections which they didn't feel...
So like, nah, that didn't... Yeah,
It's the one scene we're going to talk about still, but
We will
if we're
talk
going to
about
talk
it.
about the one you were in, which was the fourth one, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Fourth one. Yeah. Which starred Shay Cole, actually.
Shay Cole, yeah.
Who I know from school days. So big up Shay on that one still. Did his thing.
Yeah.
As the main character, Alex Weevil. Who exactly did you play in that, bro? Because I've been a while since I watched it.
I was basically just an extra on the set, innit? But, so I saw myself in a couple of the clips there, because I was on set for 2 different scenes. So the party scene when they're in the house.
Yes.
I was there, and then the whole riot scene.
Which was
there.
crazy, yeah.
So yeah, that was wild.
So in terms of that first scene, how was it in that party scene? Because obviously you come from a Jamaican background yourself. So your parents probably have stories of similar, if not the same sort of parties that you went to. How was it even being immersed in that experience?
Like, I think Steve McQueen, everyone who worked on the set and everything did an amazing job in it for one. Like, because when you entered that space, you're like, rah, this is a flat that's in London now, and that was just that bring me back to when stories from what my parents and I were telling me. I'm like, rah, this is what it felt really immersive in it to be in there. And yeah, it was just like, for me personally, like there was a lot of different extras on there, and cause I'm from Jamaica and stuff like that, for me, the whole, when I heard the music come on, the vibe.
It took you back in it.
Yeah.
Because I watched it, it took me back. I can't
the vibe
lie.
was just smooth, like, and the funny thing is, there was a couple times where Steve had to go, cut, like, some of you lot are like doing too much, like, kind of thing, 'cause a few of them weren't from that kind of background, innit? So they were like overdoing it and stuff. But me is just, you know them little small vibes. You see the Rasta in the party.
The Rasta just kick back. You know what I'm saying, bro?
2-step kind of thing.
100%, bro.
Yeah, it was a good little vibe. So it was a good little vibe, man.
I did enjoy that scene because that's a scene where, if I'm not mistaken, the main character picked up the mic and started spraying, like MCing thing, which is part of the aesthetic as well. I would say, overall, I like that scene. The one thing in terms of accents could have been stronger, but I don't mind that because it's a hard one to pull off. But overall, I like the scene. I think the scene was a good scene. How about your opinion on that?
Nah, like, I love the scene. And as a whole, the whole collective, the whole Small Axe collective, I enjoyed all of them. But my big thing as well was the accents. Because obviously I wasn't a part of the rest of them like that. So I was only on set for my one. And even there, I was like, ooh, these accents are a bit
Could have been stronger. Like, it wasn't necessarily entirely
It wasn't
bad.
terrible. Like, I saw worse in other episodes, to be fair.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and I was like, ah. But then again, they didn't do a terrible job. The story, for me, was still told. And I give everyone credit for that, innit? But yeah, the accents did... That was something when I was watching, I was like... Oh.
Yeah, it could have been stronger. Yeah. And obviously, because we come from that heritage, it's like... I was sitting down there with, like, my mum, my dad, and, like, my grandparents watched it as well. They also said the same thing. Not gonna lie, those accents weren't cutting it, but overall, we liked it. Now, going into the second scene using that riot scene, how was it getting in there? Because you weren't there for the Brixton riots. I know my dad was born in Brixton, was there, remembers what it was like. He said there was a couple of things that may not been historically accurate, but that feeling he got from it was like, bro, I can't lie, I kind of felt it. I kind of felt back there. Obviously, you can't get exactly what was there because different accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
But
now with that, for that, you gotta give credit to Steve to capture that kind of realness from it. Because again, on set, he was like, "Oh, alright, guys." He kind of brought us back. He told us like, oh, "Okay, this is what kind of happened here," and I know he was like, "I know some of your parents have told you as well." So like, think back to that, and at the same time, you gotta remember, a lot of us there are black, and a lot of problems that was going on back then we're facing now. So it's about digging. It was about digging into that and just thinking about how we felt when we're hearing certain stories, the George Floyd's, like all of those stories when we heard. It's just about getting that kind of emotion and that feel for wanting to just express yourself, innit? So that's what kind of captured the realness and the emotion of that scene of the Brixton riots kind of thing, innit? So yeah, I said credit to him again because he got us there. Like he was there on set telling us, like, cool, think back to this, pull this out kind of thing, and he spent a lot of time with the main actors and stuff like that as well. So yeah, credit to him.
It seems like he's quite a hands-on director then.
He is.
From what you're saying, because obviously we don't know as a general public. It seems like he was giving you lot direct guidance, and it wasn't like you lot just make it up on. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he's very good at what he does. As you can see, the guy's got awards for it, man. So definitely credit to him.
So in relation to Steve McQueen, would you say you'd work with him again? And what is your direction you'd hope for black cinema in the future? So black publishing companies, or you know what I'm saying? Like, because we've been stuck with one role, like the whole Blocks and Top Boy, which is cool, but after a while, we're kind of like, we have more stories to tell than that. We don't all live on the block. You don't all have to, you know what I'm saying? It's a cool story once, but when you're rehashing the same story 10, 15 times, it's like...
kind of drags. I hear you. For the first bit, I would 100% love to work with Steve again. 100%. Hopefully in the future that does happen. And for just black cinema in general, like, for one, even behind the camera. So like the makeup artists, hairstylists, I want more of that in there, because you hear it a lot, especially for females in the industry, where they're coming on set and they have to do their own hair, do their own makeup, because
about that,
the people who the studios have hired can't do it. They don't understand black hair and stuff like that, and it's messed up. So I would say for any, because like even now, we get a lot of girls that do makeup and stuff, so they'll do it for like girls' birthdays, proms and stuff like that. Those girls, I say to them, look into the film industry, because there's money to be made there for them, innit? And we need more of that in the industry.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Ah,
And
sorry, go
and like for our stories being told, more black writers, man. Like
That comes
more black
from the
writers,
screenwriters.
man.
It comes from owning companies, because when you own companies, you can hire your own, and there won't be need to fill quotas and all that type of stuff. It comes from understanding that the only people who can tell our stories is us. Really, honestly, really and truly. It's the real truth of it. We can't have a director who is white, and this might sound harsh to some people, but I'm gonna tell the truth on this platform. Is they can't tell our stories for us, because they will never get that emotional connection and have that forthrightness to give it honestly. Like, they won't get it. Do you know what I'm saying?
you'll get some that get very close to it and
But
do a good job, but it would be great or even better coming from someone of our colour. Yeah. Someone who's actually lived and been through it, kind of thing, innit? So I 100% hear what you're saying. At the same time, we don't, and that's what I'm starting to figure out now. Like, I'm a couple of my friends, we're starting to write stuff, because like, we're tired of the whole like the stereotypical roles are gang member, this and that. So what we gotta do is just gotta write our own stuff, man. So that's where I'm at right now, man.
And I think that's a big lesson that people should learn to do for self. When you see a gap in the market, you can't just complain about it. Try to do it yourself.
You gotta do something for yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I think we lack a lot of time in the community. Is that a lot of us want things handed to us. And I'm not talking about in the overall sense, but we think that we have this complex in us that makes us believe, because someone hasn't sanctioned us to be able to do it, we can't. And they're stopping us from doing it. When, why don't you just write your own story? Nothing's stopping you. And the worst thing that can happen is someone goes no. And then if you pass it to someone else, they might say yes. Do you know what I'm saying? How about you? What?
Well, actually, what, aside from like just wanting to have like your own stories in within like black cinema, like what inspired you to like start writing, like you and your friends?
Like legit, I felt that there's so many different ways into the industry fully in it.
Yeah.
And obviously when I was first starting off acting, I always thought there was one route: college, drama school, get an agent.
I get that, yeah.
Go out for auditions.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then I'm in the industry that way.
Yeah.
But as I've grown and seen, like, I have so many friends that are now in, like, been in the industry and in and around the industry, and they haven't been drama school. So I'm like, this drama school thing was a facade, really.
Yeah.
It is good, and I'm saying it's a facade, but here I am. I've just auditioned for drama school again, kind of thing. But because it is helpful, but I just thought, if I want to really get into this industry, I can do it another way, and writing's one of those ways. I can put on. Why can't I make a short film?
I love that attitude, because
like
why
that.
not? Who's stopping you aside from yourself?
Exactly.
Really and truly.
Exactly.
And I think we got to reinvent, because we're dealing with structures that came before us. These structures have been about and tailor-made for other groups of people, is the truth. If you're talking about like the BAFTA system or Hollywood, they're mainly white built, for being real. And why can't we have our own version? It won't be Hollywood because it'll be black, but like a black Hollywood, for example, or black BAFTA. Why can't it be our space? Like, none of them have
I feel like we're too, like you said, the industries and systems that have been built before us, kind of thing. We're too focused on their awards and their
acceptance.
Like me personally, an award would be nice, but it's not gonna make a difference to me, like, kind of thing. I'm really not gonna judge my career or put what I've done in the industry. What I've done in the industry all about if I get an Oscar at one point, or if I get a BAFTA or anything. If I get, I get. If I don't, I don't.
I fully respect that still,
The work I've done, I can look back and be proud of it, because I chose to do it, kind of thing, innit? So,
And it was on your terms.
Yeah.
That's I think that's what I was talking about, like in terms of music. Like when we had the episode, we were just talking about like our own stuff and what we wanted to do. I was like, awards, like my music would not be, measured against other people's standards or their metric or whatever. Like, the award would be nice, it would be good, but like my music is good to me. I enjoy it. The people around me, if they enjoy it, then that's good enough for me, innit?
Facts.
Do you know what I mean?
Even as much, look, Leo only just got an Oscar the other day for Revenant.
For Revenant as well, like.
And to me, my personal opinion, I don't think that was his best work. That his Oscar. I even think Tom Hardy was better in that than him. But that's what you got the Oscar for. So
Wait,
at the end
personally,
of
so
the day,
what movie do you think he should have won the award for?
there's so much this guy.
He did a lot. Like,
There's so
Leonardo
much
DiCaprio
Leo
is a
has
bad
done,
actor.
man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like, he's been doing this from a youth.
Yeah, word.
There's so many other things he could have got that Oscar for, innit? Like, and for you to give it to him for Revenant, and I feel that's because of the pressure that was on.
To have to give it to him because it's politics.
Yeah.
That's exactly
in my
what it
heart of
is,
hearts,
yeah.
I think that was a politics decision because everyone was getting onto them saying, "Why hasn't Leo
Why
won?"
ain't Leo won that Oscar?
Do you know
Why
what I'm
ain't Leo
saying?
won that Oscar?
It's a different kind of example because it's music and Leo and Nas are two different people. But I feel like that pressure is that Nas hasn't got a Grammy yet.
Oh yeah, and then he won the.
But I think that was a great Nas album, which I think us two might differ in that. That probably wasn't a great film by Leo. He's done way better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah. It's not that it wasn't a great film because The Revenant was banging in it. But I'm saying for you to have given him his first Oscar
For that, yeah, it makes sense.
at the time it was just a little bit sus.
I'm saying it's the same sort of thing because it's like Nas's latest album was brilliant.
Yeah.
But
Compared to what he's done
Illmatic,
before,
Stillmatic, Godson, it's like I hear you, but that sounds like politics.
That's what I'm saying. It's a
bro.
lot. It is a lot of politics, and you can't be out here and think, oh, because I ain't got an Oscar, a BAFTA, a Grammy, or whatever, that my career isn't worth it, or I haven't made it yet. Because that's not it. That's really not it. You can't allow their awards and their tokens,
accolade.
and
This
their
is the-
accolades to judge what you've done and the work you've done in it. Like,
I love how you put it out because this is the same conversation we had last week about validation. Why validation? How we seek it, and it's almost every facet of life, but particularly during award shows. And you'll see how man get upset. Originally, like they won't talk about racism the whole year. Then when it comes to the award show and they miss out on these white validation awards, I start hearing Malcolm X. I'm thinking,
Who said Malcolm X?
yeah.
No, who said it? Who said that? Like who? What?
No.
Like, as in, like they just start.
No, I'm starting hearing let's boycott this and not go to the Grammy. You weren't saying that.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Especially in the current context that we're talking about of what's happened this past year. We shouldn't have been there anyway, really and truly, if after what's happened. Do you get what I'm saying? We should have stuck together and tried to do our own thing.
from the jump.
Really.
Yeah.
But that's a different conversation. But what we will say is that once we start learning these things and we start spreading these things through information and knowledge, and it's about having these conversations because most people are, because this system beats us down in numerous different ways. Because some people just can't see it. So you gotta try and reach out to a man and tell them, yo, bro, I can't lie, or sis, bro, or sis. That ain't the way, because that ain't gonna help us in the future. And you gotta try to talk to people.
It's very difficult, though.
It's hard.
It's very difficult, and at the same time, because it's been so many hundreds of years, and it's that thing of it's an institute that's been built up on like the oppression of us, of people of our colour and stuff like that. Like we've been held down for so long that we've started to hold each other down within our communities.
Facts.
So the rebuild process is going to be a very long one. But I'm happy that I'm seeing a bit of fight from us right now. Like there's definitely some fight from us right now, innit? And it's a good start. It's a good start, and it's not something that's gonna happen overnight, but we just gotta keep on pushing. And it's that thing of not making what we're fighting for a trend every time.
Yeah, because that's what I get annoyed at as well, because it gets to a point where it's like hashtags. It's the same cycle. You see Ben Crump, you see the press conference, and then no one cares. And you know what I'm saying? And the posting and the hashtags, it's like, it's got to be a movement. And I don't mind how you do the movement. If you think voting is the answer, which I disagree with, you do that. But fight on your battlefield. But what I don't like is when people try dictate the right way to do. There's no right way to do things.
Yeah.
Like, just think about the cheek of a person trying to say to Malcolm, oh, that's the wrong way, by the way. You shouldn't be this. Shush. Like, man have got their own lane, and we should help each other. It shouldn't be. Why are we so quick to fight each other?
Way, like,
There's so many other avenues that everyone can encompass that we can all build forward. But as you said, it takes a long time. It's about destroying the system, really. If we're being honest, we can't really operate.
It's mad though, because when you really deep it, and this is me going off into like okay, for example, Avengers, Endgame, Thanos, that whole thing. let me get rid of half the population, and with that, hear me out. With that, look, because when they came to Endgame in the beginning, you saw that dolphins had returned back to the sea. Like, it was basically helping global warming. The world had become a better place in a sense.
Yeah.
So, you know when you have these mad villains in these movies, if you really deep, they're like, their end game, what they're trying to do, there's something right to it, you know? Like, there's some, but it's just about the way they're going about it. It's a bit mad, innit? So, we do need to destroy the system, that's what I'm
create
saying.
our own. I'm saying my focus is always create your own.
Don't go out there and kill everyone. That's what I'm saying.
No. We don't advocate that on this podcast.
We just need to break down.
Exactly. I did not see that.
I saw it. I knew where you was going still.
I hear the breakdown of what you're saying. We do need to break it down and then build it back up on something more positive.
I'm just saying that our own. I just think I'm getting to the point where it's like, you lot can have your mashup system. That's yours. I don't have no problem with them man having their own thing, but why don't we have our own? Every other people has their own. You see Bollywood.
I hear that. Like, there is Hollywood, Bollywood, Nollywood and all that kind of stuff. I hear that. But I think, if what we're fighting for, like the whole equality thing, we need it to just be one. It can't be every man over here and that. Yeah, we can have that, but we also need to have a platform where we can all sit down and all be level.
I have no problem with sitting down, but what I'm saying is that when we're talking about power, a lot of people ain't having conversations about equality, bro. Man are having conversations about power. Well, that's what we as black people don't get. We don't understand conversations about power. We don't want to have conversations about power because we think power is inherently evil. I'm gonna be real. We don't really understand it. So what I'm saying is that I'm fine having a conversation where we're all around the same table and we're all powerful. But if I'm powerless and you're powerful, why am I coming to the table with you yet?
Yeah,
I'm not ready to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about hating nobody. It's about just righting the wrongs of what's happened. And the only people that can do that is us. We can't rely on no one else to do that, to be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a fascinating conversation. I like that.
That was a mad tangent. That's an Endgame.
Yeah. Nah, you threw man up with that one.
Yeah. That's why I'm laughing. I was just like,
you know what it was? Like, what? I was thinking, you said this, how I say it? Like, I spoke about destruction. Because you said Endgame, I said that's destruction. Yeah. I think I know it. I didn't know. Don't get it.
It's thingy, innit? It's any movie where there's a bad guy, yeah? Think about it. The man, them tactics of doing something is fucked. Like, Thanos is trying to kill half the universe. That's fucked. Yeah. But the reason why he's
kind of makes sense.
Stop. There would be no world hunger, no world poverty. There'll be none of that, and there was none of that. But you can't just kill off half the population, my guy.
That's very true.
And I get what you're saying. I'm talking about. Yeah, it's very random. Very random.
No, but I've got it though. I get where he's going.
We need to tear down the system. Facts. But let's not think we need to tear down the system with guns and bullets and that. Like, it's fighting fire with fire. Like, it's mad. It's mad.
There's definitely, I didn't even mean it in that sense, but I don't know. I feel like that's a conversation that has to be had off camera.
Yeah, that's something else.
That's an off-camera conversation. Because I think certain things that I would like to say.
Yeah, that's how I had to try and make sure. It's just a quick in and out on that one.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry, pardon? Okay. But that was the good one though, like the fourth one. Like, in terms of like my favourite ones of Small Axe was the first one, the fourth one, and the John Boyega one.
You like the John Boyega one?
Yeah, I like
that. That was my least favourite.
Oh, how come though?
I don't know what it was with it. I feel like the story could have been told better.
It was a bit convoluted. Still.
Yeah, I feel like the story could have been told.
Was that the one where he was the Fed?
Yeah, he's the police for a minute.
that was my least favorite.
I like that one still.
That's what I'm saying.
Even though it was like, my kind of sympathy for him went up and down because there's some bits I was like, idiot. Like.
Yeah, and then there's other bits you.
A little dirty Fed.
I can't lie. It's hard. Like, I'm looking at man, and he's really busting his neck to really get in there. And his dad, I got his dad. His dad made more sense to me. I'm thinking, you can't just go join them after they come bruck.
Do you just not like it because it's Fed?
Nah, it's not that. I felt like Because even look, with Lovers Rock, a lot of people didn't like it because it was just that one room and
That's one scene. That's what we're talking about.
Huh?
Was Lovers Rock your favourite, or was it?
No.
Which
My
one?
favourite was the one I was in.
Yeah.
And then Mangrove.
Sometimes. Come on, yeah.
And then Mangrove was my second favourite.
I would say that was my
Rock,
first,
yeah.
just because of the political. I don't know in terms of the history.
I like the
loved
acting
it.
in that as well.
I love the
See,
guy who played Darkest How. He's
yeah.
wicked, bro.
That's the thing with me. When I was watching these things, I was watching it from an actor's perspective as well. Like, so I'm watching the acting, I'm watching how it's written, like kind of thing. That's what I'm playing.
It's a completely different
yeah.
perspective. Yeah.
Like a lot of things I watch now, I don't just watch it.
For the
As,
sake of
to
yeah,
enjoy
I watch
it,
it
yeah.
and like depict it, kind of thing, innit? So yeah, that's why John Boyega's one wasn't my favorite, and I think like it had the most hype around it as well.
Because of him.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that is a bit disappointing that it wasn't the.
The best one.
Yeah. But it's the one that won awards. It won awards.
Oh, is that the one that
Oh,
won
you
the
got
award?
it.
Yeah, but that's because of him though. I'm not gonna lie. And I think the first one's a bit too political because that story.
That.
What's changed? We're being what's
see,
really changed? Like,
That there.
do you get what I'm saying?
Them kind of things get my head hot.
Yeah, because it was
Gets
a
my
wicked
head
one.
hot.
Because it's like, and I just empathise with Darkest how just in a time when no one was really militant like that. It wasn't even like mad militant. It's just the clearness of thought, the articulation, the reading, everything to me just spoke to me. Innit?
That court scene, he was ready. Like he knew what he was doing.
And he formulated in a way that was so sick. And he played their own game against it. Everything to me just made sense with my man. And don't get twisted, the rest of it, like the actual emotion of the story as well, about how, like, what's the guy's name? Critchlow, who was about to like turn himself in and snitch my dick.
Oh yeah.
That was, which I got it, even though I was like, yeah, you were taking the piss a little bit, but I got it because it's like
understand
he,
like
like, he
pressure
got pushed
there,
in.
I
Yeah,
can't emphasize with his character
Pressure,
more, just because I saw him as like he just had his shop in it. Like he was just doing his thing, his restaurant, and then you know every other time the feds come in and like mess up.
I think,
and
I think the third time they came.
that was like I could see his face, and he was just like, yo. Like his family and when I think it was his son or something, they took him in and they beat him up.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
broke up.
That was
broke
like,
up his son.
yo,
still.
it was
they
peak for
broke
him.
up his son.
It was peak.
Jerry's funny though, boy. Messed up. Lovers joke.
Someone told me.
That was JJ.
I think that was me.
That
bro.
was
I think
Jay.
I think I gave you the bad image.
Nah, that's calm. My boy was in that one though.
Okay.
Yeah, my boy was in that one. That's probably why. So.
Did he tell you like actually who was he? Was he like he was
Yeah, it was one of the main rasses that you saw smoking the spliff at the beginning. When he was on the truck at the back with the sound. And well, so he. It's hard to describe what he was doing, but yeah, he was on. You saw him a lot. Like he got a lot of camera time.
Okay. So he was in like the main party scene as well.
Yeah.
Did he tell you about the experience as well? Like?
Yeah, now he said it because he was even running a joke about same thing like certain man because he was the one that was dancing with something in it.
Okay.
And certain man couldn't handle it. Like yeah, certain man couldn't handle it, and then Steve had to get someone else, and then he
Steve's upset at Panama, man.
he came in and then
You
he
know what? I'm
grabbed
upset
it.
that this ain't on the thing is
Everything's been recorded, bro.
Yeah, no.
You have exposed your people now.
Nah. He came in and he done his thing.
Boy, I'm not saying nothing.
You're dying for that. No, but that's actually interesting because I was wondering about filming that scene and that like when they repeated the song specifically like 2-3 times like that was like we talked about the other day like it was literally like them like they were like it was long. Me personally, I didn't mind it too much because it felt kind of like how do I say stylistic like it just fit with the actual.
People were saying they didn't like how it.
How the song it went on like the song just went
Yeah, and how it willed basically how they sang the song, they willed it, then sang it, then had the whole a cappella thing. I didn't understand. I can't lie.
Like what we were saying is because from an African background, we're seeing it like, oh, this is not like the style was nice. But when I was on the phone, he was like, bro, like
you were saying as well.
I'm
like,
saying that in terms of my parents and how other people view it, they said that just wouldn't have happened. You get what I'm saying? It's not necessarily even a knock on the scene. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, that's facts. Cause I was there with I was watching it with someone and her parents was there as well, and they were like, there was bits where they were pointing out and they're like, nah, but that wasn't completely accurate and this and that, and I get it. with these things, you're not always gonna get
100%.
100% in it. But for me, what I enjoyed about it was the fact that they kept it mainly in that one room, and the details they did get right, they got really right, even to the sweat on the wall. Like, and then when them not saw that, they're like, look at the sweat on the wall, like, remember them places, like sweat boxes and all that kind of thing, innit? So I'm saying the details they did get right, they got really right, innit? So that's why I
Sweat on
really
the wall,
liked
you
it.
know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that scene though.
Yeah, Jerry, when you want to go back into that question?
Yeah, so back to what I was asking, if you could give like a brief sort of intro into, you know, why you wanted to get into acting and sort of like your work up till now, like if you've done anything more.
Well, why I wanted to get into acting was random as hell. Like, I used to do football and that, and then like the first year I went college, I did sports science, innit? But then after that first year, I was like, this is dead. Like, the science of it, I'm not on it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what am I going to do? And that year, I was actually meant to go to Jamaica for my dad's wedding.
Okay.
But I still hadn't found a new college, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I was like, what do I like to do? Like, I like watching TV. I like watching movies and that. What's this acting thing saying?
Oh my day, now that's cool.
Let me try this.
Actually,
And then I was online like looking for courses and stuff like that, and then I found a college. So the time I had my audition for this college though, would have clashed with the dates that I had to go to Jamaica for my dad's wedding. And I was like to him, look, I'm not coming. Like, I've got this audition
Mad.
for college. If I don't do this, I'm gonna have a year of my life where I'm not doing anything, and that's
Wait, so you couldn't rearrange the date for the audition?
No. Because once I was late anyway, like I was one of the last people to kind of audition as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, I'm not coming, innit? And obviously he was mad. It's his wedding.
I can imagine. That's actually...
That's tight.
life,
There's
it's
big
life,
decisions
it's
like that
life.
though that you have to
Yeah.
make.
Yeah, that's...
I got onto that course. And then from that's where the passion and love actually grew. And then first year out of college, I started to audition for drama schools. Actually, whilst in college, I did a performance with like a drama school, alongside a drama school.
Was it like theatre?
Yeah, everything. 90% of the stuff I've done so far has been theatre based.
Okay.
So
Which
yeah,
takes
I
a
did
lot
that.
of skill, by the way.
It's
Yeah.
long, man.
Yeah.
It's long. So yeah, I did that performance with them, and then I auditioned for their drama school. I got to like the final round, and then they were like to me, you're good in that, but we feel like you need more life experience. And I was like, fair enough, I hear it. Because once I was in there, like I was talking to other people who had done it, like me, I'm young, innit? I'm fresh out of college. I'm hearing people like, this is my 8th time auditioning. I said, huh?
Hold on, wait. So what drama school was this?
This was Central. This was Central. And then, like, people, I've been 8th time auditioning, 5th time. I said, you lot do this for years?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Imagine I didn't know that.
But I got it, innit? As I was going through the stages and the rounds and stuff like that, I was starting to understand. And then, obviously, when they said to me, you need more life experience, I'm like, alright, cool, I hear that. And then, luckily enough, though, I got like an audition for a professional job, like straight out of college, and I got the role.
That's it.
So it was with a charity, and we were like touring London, going into schools, colleges, Peru's and stuff like that, putting on a verbatim piece called Backstory. So I did that for a year, and then from there I found another like group charity as well called the Big House, and then I was working with them for a bit. I was meant to do a production with them, but then life happened and I had to get a real job.
Yep.
So bills had to get paid and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to get a real job then. So I was out of the acting game for a little piece at that point. But then the Big House people, they were still like hitting me up. We got another production. I want you to come down. So I still kept in contact with them. And then
Did they really
during this
like
time-
you like there? Like they really saw you like
Yeah,
saw potential in that?
yeah. Like they're good people because I still work with them now till this day, innit? So they're very good people still. And yeah, during that time, I I was doing some like short film with another company called Broken Hearted Youth Theatre. This was like back in 2015 though, because I remember I was on Twitter the other day looking back at some old stuff. I'm like, oh my days, I can't believe I even done that. When I look at that, there's a little clip of it in it, and I look at it like, what was I doing? This wasn't acting. What was that? Like, completely different to what I do now in it and where I'm at now, kind of thing. But yeah, because I was even on set with the guys from Man on the Wall, you know, Purcell, Javon, and D.
Who are big time now,
yeah. And what them men are doing, I love it.
Big time
I
now.
love it. I'm so happy for them. So yeah, I did that, and then what happened after that? Yes, I came back to the big house and I just did a performance, like a production with them 2 years ago now, because obviously the pandemic hit and then things got shut down again. And now I'm back working with them on a couple of short films, and yeah, we've taken some stuff out there as well. So yeah, that's what I've done. That's how I kind of got into it. And then obviously I've done small acts, extra there, stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, what? Because you mentioned theatre as well, and like that's a big part of. Like I remember, because I used to do a little bit of theatre when I was in secondary school as well. What for you did you take from that, and then like how have you taken that into like what you're trying to get into now? Like is the big screen like more for you? Like is that what you want to get into more? Or?
That's definitely what I want to get into more, because like I said, 90% of stuff I've done is theatre. So college, every production is a theatre production.
Yeah.
On the course I was doing in it, and then out of that, there was even productions I even forgot to mention. But I did a lot of theatre stuff outside. I like small theatres and slightly bigger theatres kind of thing. I've done productions there. But I feel like film is where I want to be now. Like I want to be on screen, and the difference for me is, don't get it twisted, I love theatre because I love the little emotion, and I get a little feeling inside me just before I perform every time on theatre, and it's not nerves, like
it's excitement.
Yeah,
I can tell you from like back in the day, like when I used to do music, that excitement carries you through, and it will have you dancing before your set or anything that gets you. It's not.
It's like adrenaline.
It's kind of adrenaline, but it's a bit different because you can't even define it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's a weird thing, but I always use it to bring out the best performance I can, and because with theatre as well, each night you're getting a different audience. Like you do something on film, it's there for everyone to see, but each time I'm getting a different audience and I'm seeing their reactions live, and there's just something different to that. But this is what I'm trying to lead towards film more though, because I wanna, in theatre everything's bigger, kind of sense, because you're performing for thousands or hundreds.
Actually, yeah, because like there's like big theatre productions as well. Have you been to like the sort of, I forgot the name of it, but you know, like there's a smaller sort of style of theatre where it's like it's more intimate. There's like less numbers of people, and like you're like just in a space. I don't know. There's not a specific one I could think of, but like there's the Lyric Theatre in Hammersmith. That's quite small.
Oh yeah. Well, one of my first things outside of theatre was at like the Broccoli Jack. That fit like 50 people.
Oh word. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That fit like 50 people in there. The stuff I done with the big house, we had how much, like about 50 to 70 people.
Right.
So yeah, I've done performances where we're close. I'm here and I'm acting to you there, and I'm acting to you there, like, and it's just an immersive space kind of thing. So I've done that, and then like I said, when I was in college and I did something with Central, we used the building in King's Cross. There's that big building in King's Cross, and we were moving with it, so the audience were with us the whole time.
Okay.
So yeah, I've done all of that. But it's that raw feeling you get where I use an audience member, like I'm looking at you and I'm delivering.
It's
this
emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but film, I wanna, learn my lines. Cut. I'm trying to do all of that. No, relax. Relax
It's like it's the chill thing, innit? You're just like, yeah, I don't have to do it. Like, I hear
it's a
that.
lot. It takes a lot of your body, man. Like,
does,
I
it
know
does.
when I'm doing theatre productions, I make sure I'm at my fittest. Like, I make sure I'm keeping fit. I'm eating well because my body is my instrument, kind of thing.
There's
If
a
I mess
temple.
it up, I'm finished.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say I've seen people because I know people like who are more into theatre acting and they like the way they carry themselves and the way they just move. It's like the industry itself is just like interesting because a lot of people within it are so because you're so into it and it's creative, but at the same time it's work in it. Like it puts its toll on your body, so you're making sure you're like 100% like at the top of your game like throughout. And yeah, it's very interesting. I wanted to ask as well. So like what film kind of inspires you? Or like what's the film that you look at and you're like I'm trying to be like that, like get into that. Like what kind of film specifically? Or like what genre of film do you say you're into more?
My favorite genre is psychological thriller.
Okay.
I love psychological thrillers.
Why?
Because
yeah.
the person I am, I always try to figure out the twist before the twist comes.
I like
So,
it.
like,
Yeah. Let's go.
And if I figure out the twist before it comes, I'm like, I feel happy with myself. So I love psychological thrillers. To be like a sellout kind of thing, it's not even a sellout. I love Marvel, innit? All Marvel stuff I love. So if I get a call up for a Marvel movie,
We saying you running there.
yeah.
Let them know, Sam, man.
Yeah, no one talk to me. Like,
What's your favorite Marvel film so far?
Don't like these favorite questions. You know?
Alright, what do you think would be the best one out of all of them? That's
the same sort of question.
Yeah.
No. Because your favorite could be different, innit? You could be like, I like it personally, but like the best film that's like.
Saying
'cause
that
from
is
an actor's
semantics.
perspective,
Saying
you
that
might
is semantics. I like that.
Come on.
Saying
From
that
an
is
actor's
semantics.
perspective, you might say
Saying that is
Winter
semantics.
Soldier's better than what's the Avengers, the last one. But then you know like that if that movie itself was like big and it was like everyone's in there.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm gonna say Civil War. Is
Okay.
Like one of my favorites because the whole fight scene, and that was when they first introduced Black Panther.
That
to
scene's
the-
crazy.
To the Marvel thing, innit? And so that I always remember that film. So that's definitely up there for one of my favorites.
Word.
Black Panther because of what it did. Like what it did for the culture and everything was just crazy.
Yeah.
And I can't not say like Endgame and that. Like I can't.
It's too big.
Yeah,
It's too big. It just did too much.
The numbers that did was wild.
It just did
And
too much.
The reaction, because I was a nerd in it. I went and watched that when that dropped.
The midnight thing, innit?
When that dropped, I was there. Like, I was
finish
there.
Everyone was there. The
Like,
midnight thing
nah,
still.
You man are funny, blood.
I was there.
You man are
Couldn't
funny.
let that miss me, so I'm not
No
gonna
way.
lie.
Nah, I
You
hear
man are
that. Still,
funny.
I hear that. We went the day it came out, innit? For
I
Endgame.
think so, I'm pretty
Endgame
sure,
and
yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure.
there.
Yeah. It was
Even the Spider-Man, cause the Far From Home, I think that's the second best Spider-Man film. To
It's
me.
a brave film to do.
like all the Spider-Man films.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
a
think
brave film.
Number one for me is the one with Miles Morales, the animated one.
I've not seen that, but I've heard such good
That's
things about it.
actually, you know what? when you put it, you're right. Cause
That's
the way
crazy.
it's done and
That's crazy.
like animated as well, it's just come out so
Yeah,
clean and
that is crazy.
Yeah.
That's one for me, and then Far From Home is two. And I think the best thing Sony and them and did was to team up with Marvel properly and give the rights to them so that they can make a proper Spider-Man film. Because that Andrew Garfield, really feeling that.
No one feels that Andrew Garfield. You know what?
Feeling that.
I feel like he's a bit too manly to be. You gotta be a boy to be Spider-Man, then become a man.
But you know what? It's not even that, because look at Tobey Maguire. Like Tobey Maguire wasn't passing off for no
Boy,
16-year-old
nah, hell no.
kid.
But he's a nerd.
It was, I think it was the nostalgia with that.
That's
Everyone's
where it is,
so messy.
because that's for
Yeah,
most of us,
they
that's
want
the
the
first
first
Spider-Man
three,
that
yeah.
was on screen.
That
yeah.
nostalgia. I think Andrew Garfield just got a bad timing. Like it just didn't do it, man.
He's a good actor, but it was
Yeah,
the way
he's
he
a
was
great
I'm not
actor.
knocking him,
Yeah,
but I'm
he's a
sure
good
like
actor, yeah.
those two films, we could go without them.
Probably, yeah.
We could go without them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Separately, would you ever get into voice acting?
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. Tell you that.
Okay.
There's definitely some cheddar to be made there.
That's a bread as well.
In terms of your dream voice acting role, what would it be? Because I think, like, if I were to be an actor, I'm not. I would say a Boondocks type thing. Just the fact it's got the social commentary, the comedy, it's got everything.
Do you know what, man, you would fit that as well. Actually, like, this guy, I don't know what character, but like I can picture, but militant fam, he's the most.
Don't kill me.
Wickedness is coming out as well.
To be honest with you, if I was to come out and give you something, it would be completely made up. It's not something that I've fully thought about and looked into. I just know that at some point in my career, I would love to do some voice acting, but it's not something I've deeply looked into.
Fair enough, bro.
I couldn't even give you anything.
That's sick though. Stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, fully forgot what I was gonna ask as well.
Take it.
There's better. I mean, okay, so you mentioned Marvel and that, yeah, and like I think sort of the superhero franchise, the sort of fantasy stuff that's come out. There's a lot of IPs that are out there that has like a large fan base, and recently as well, what's come out, the Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. That was a thing where it came as a result of fans pushing for it, and they pushed hard for it. Because it came out years ago, but it was like, yo, they don't like it, it was shit, release the Snyder cut, and the whole reason Zack Snyder's left was because like family reasons, innit? Like he had stuff to deal with. But they were so on him, so on, was it Warner Brothers? Or?
Yeah, it was Warner
they were
Brothers.
so on Warner Brothers to release the film, yeah, that they actually
flopped
turned around and said, fuck it, let's go. There's money to be made, let's do it. And I've not heard too many people say anything bad about the Snyder cut. But now there's a thing of, you know, let's make the Snyderverse, let's do more.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation because on one hand, yeah, it's sick that like now in these times you can have such a interactive communication with the fan base. Like people are, you know, like you see Comic-Con, you see the conventions for these movies and these franchises. Everyone's there, everyone's loving it, getting involved, the actors get involved. It's cool, but then there's the other side to it where it's like they're so on it, yeah, that they're sending mad stuff. Like for the executives in the space, in the companies as well, that they're getting deference just because it's like
crazy.
The fans are
That's too
die
much.
hard. They're very
too much.
die hard.
They're overdoing it.
Overdoing it.
It's too much.
You have a life.
It's a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Relax.
Like what's your sort of viewpoint on giving like the fans more power to, you know, make these franchises the way they see it fit? Because I remember there was also a thing on Game of Thrones as well. Like Game of the season 8, they did not like it.
Yeah.
They were on them people. They were on the actors as well. The actors, they're just there to do the scenes, innit? They're not really, and it's based off of the book as well. Sorry, it's based off the book as well. And I think the writers deviated from the book, did their own thing. You know, they got the writers. It was like it was a madness, innit? But
I think about the whole fans thing, I think the fans should have a very strong voice when it comes to a lot of these things, because at the end of the day, the money that comes from the fans' pocket is what's going back into the studios and stuff like that.
I hear that.
At the same time, though, a lot of these fans need to understand that this is these people's work.
It's human beings at the end of the day.
Like, this is their job. You mess up at your job. You wouldn't like death threats for you messing up an email or whatever.
Or
whatever you
something
do,
like, yeah.
Whatever you do, innit? At the end of the day, they're humans. Relax.
Yeah,
It's
I 100%
really
agree with
not
that.
deep. What they're doing is for your entertainment kind of thing. Calm down. Sending death threats for what?
It's so extra. Because if
For
you deep what it's for,
Yeah.
it's like...
And a lot of the fans, they don't understand what goes on, like, behind closed doors. They don't know how much it takes to produce a film or to get it out there. There's a lot that goes on that they don't see. They just see, oh, release date, and then boom, the movie's here.
Yeah.
I would say, though, on that Snyder's cut, because like I said, I'm a massive Marvel guy. DC, I don't really mess with like that. But that Snyder's cut was cold.
Okay.
It was so cold. I'm just fuming that they didn't release that. That wasn't the first film.
Because there was
I'm
politics
just
in that,
mad.
though. I think there was a lot of politics in that.
And I hear that.
I think it was more... You said his family. I think he had some serious issues in that building.
No. I'd say there was also that as well.
Yeah.
Within, even in Marvel, there's times where like directors they'll start with a film and then creative difference, and they move on.
Yeah, it's all cool. He pissed off some people higher up than him and said, you know what, big man. And there's something in that film that they didn't like, clearly. Because otherwise, like, it would have been shown.
Like, because that cut should have been what the original was.
Okay.
They had... Because basically, Snyder's cut was the same Justice League that we got however many years ago, with the added extras about Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and then the ending bit. So there was like an extra, maybe I'd say an extra hour and a half of that film.
Which makes
that
more
we
sense.
didn't see kind of thing. But his cut explained everything that when I first watched Justice League, I was like, this is why DC are always behind Marvel, because this film didn't give me anything.
It was just too rushed, bro.
Yeah, everything just felt rushed.
Because of the fact, I think this is what, from just outside looking in, it was they saw the success of Avengers, not seeing how they built up beforehand. You don't rush into a Justice League when you've not presented an Iron Man.
Anything, yeah.
Like, you've done the whole
no
Batman
individual
and
stories.
yeah, you've done the Batman and the Superman separate because
was
they're
trash,
so
by the
big.
way.
Yeah, but because they're so big, you can ride off them.
Yeah.
Like, you can make 1 million Superman films. People will come out and watch it. It's Superman. Do you know what I'm saying? Or Batman, the same thing. You can make so many of them films. Someone will come out to watch it because of those iconic characters. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But you need to build a universe. Like, you see Iron Man, like in the comic books, is not an iconic character. If you read the comic book, he's not. But when you reinvent what it is and make it, he's now become an iconic character because of the film. Like, if you like the actual comic books, it's Captain America who's the big thing, and our other Spider-Man are big. Hulk as well, big.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And these lot flopped the Hulk films originally, which is a separate conversation. Yeah.
They flopped it, but they turned it around just the way they did it.
But in terms of even a separate Hulk film, they've not done properly.
They haven't.
No, but I think
none of them.
They haven't got the. They ain't
ain't got the rights for it still.
That's why.
Yeah.
We mashed it up. But anyway, getting back to DC tried to catch up to Marvel when they've not seen the groundwork Marvel put in for 10 years previously to get to an Avengers. You don't just get to an Avengers overnight. You can't start off with a Justice League. It doesn't make sense.
You can't just dash it out there.
Doesn't even make sense.
I think it's putting the work, like finding the right actors as well to embody the characters, because I couldn't say anything to Gal Gadot or the people that played the other actors, but Ben Affleck as Batman
didn't make sense.
I didn't see it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not to say anything
He
about
grew
him.
into it after I started watching, and I even saw the Snyder Cut as well. It made more sense, but at first I was watching, I was thinking, you just don't look.
Not Ben Affleck. I'm
you
sorry.
know what it is for me, yeah? Because I rate Batman, but I rate Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Batman.
But
and I feel like with that,
it wouldn't have made sense.
No, of course not. It wouldn't have made sense for this. But throwing Batman into the Justice League on, like you said, without giving us their individual stories like that. Because I was watching, I was like, yo, Batman's just an assistant in this film.
Yeah, what?
Like, he's not. He's an assistant.
Not the Batman.
Superman's flying to beef. Cyborg's flying to beef.
And he's walking, cuz.
He's
He's walking, fam. Like, man are walking to the beef, like
why are you doing this?
are you seeing what I'm saying, bro? Like,
I felt mad for him because I rate him. In Gotham, he's the G.
Yeah, but
then you put him there.
I think in terms of superheroes, Batman is like the. I don't like when I was growing up. Superman wasn't the guy. I didn't like Superman that.
I personally don't, because I feel like they made him very corny.
And he's a nerd, blood. Superman's a waste man who's
corny.
he's too good. Like, you see the man that are too good, and you're like, I don't even like
too
you,
strong,
blood.
like,
Yes, you're too good. Like you're nice. You're nice. You're strong. You're super. Why are you good at everything?
Like, relax.
Gets
We get
to
it.
everything, fam.
And you get the girl. Like, stop it, bro. You see what I'm saying? But in terms of Batman, I think Batman only really works in Batman's universe now, because we've seen Christopher Nolan's Batman. That makes the most sense, because you made a real life Gotham that I could like. You can see that in real life. That's why it's so sick.
That's why I relate to Batman so much.
Because it's a real.
Like, that's just a regular rich youth.
Like, yeah. And I feel like, in terms of even Bane, they even made Bane human, and there was bare people complaining because it's like, he isn't exactly like the comics. How can you make it like the comics, bro?
People, they're
nerds, bro.
They actually need to relax.
Because how can you make a realistic Christopher Nolan verse and then make some Bane who has veins coming out and he's 6'10",
Why
or like
deep, is a lot of people, no matter what you do, how great it can be, there's still gonna be those naysayers, and
of course,
still gonna be those ones that are gonna be negative. I didn't like that because of that.
Because it has to be though, but that's life. Yeah,
it's life.
Has to be.
So you just gotta let them say what they want over there, man. Leave them in their corner. But what Christopher Nolan's done
is iconic.
Iconic,
and I can't think of a better superhero series. A series of 3 films in terms of, because of how realistic for it did it. Because I can, it's just the fact that all three of those major villains, it's like all their stories to me made sense. All of them, and they all had a direct beef with Batman. It's not like he just came to save the day. It's like you got into Batman's psyche, especially Joker, because he couldn't work man out. And the wickedest thing is, Batman lost, bro.
Yeah.
Batman lost.
Yeah.
Batman lost.
A lot of people don't remember that.
Batman
Definitely
lost because
He definitely did.
and it's a shame what happened to Heath Ledger, because I would have loved to see where that would have gone further, because that whole game Batman where he's inside Arkham gets let out, I would have loved to see it on screen, because I think that would have been sick, because I played them games, and when he's in Arkham and he's in the asylum running it, I think that would have been good aesthetic on screen.
Heath Ledger definitely set a bar that
no one can reach, so it's mad.
Because even Jared Leto, like, he got some stick
because he just weren't
Suicide Squad, but
he wasn't bad though.
But him at the end of Snyder's cut, he got to play the Joker he wanted to play, and that was such a good Joker. But in Suicide Squad, they didn't really allow him to do that, and that's why you got that kind of Joker. And the man them cut him out. That's mad.
What about how do I say
Joaquin Phoenix.
That one.
That film is so cold.
That film there has
psychology behind it.
That
The
film there
psychology
has
behind it.
shook in a different way.
And the reason why it's so good for me is because there's no uplift. There's not one moment in that film where you go, maybe, no, everything is terrible, but it works.
The reality of that film
Is so sick.
so
Because
mad.
you get to the end and you go, you know what? There's no other place it could have gone. That anarchy, that pushing him right to the edge where man has to bow.
Bruv.
You know what's so mad about that? Someone ruined the ending for me, like, beforehand, so I kind of knew what was going to happen. But it was the way it happened, because he built it up as if he was going to kill himself, but when he actually... I was like... And it wasn't like a super violent film. There was like 2 moments where it was like, yo. But that moment there was so shocking just because of the way it was happening and the timing of it and just like everyone watching him and horrified. It was like, yo, like he really did that, and he just sat there smiling. He hit that point. He hit that point where he was like, fuck it.
Yeah,
and it's scary because
it's very
realistic.
relevant. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so relevant. It was so relevant. It's so relevant.
Especially in the current zeitgeist of the mental health. And
Exactly.
It made me look at how I treat people. I'm gonna be real. It made me look like how I treat like the random man off the road.
I was chilling in the cinema the whole time, like.
Oh, you watched it in the see?
Yeah, that's different. That's mad.
Nah, like everything that was going on, I'm like, oh my days, this is, and it just kept on getting better and better and better, and I'm like, this is so relevant right now. And then, cause I didn't go see it on the day it released, but I went and saw it like around about that, and I'd heard reviews already, and people were like, oh, it was rubbish, oh, I didn't get it, this, that. So I already thought, oh, they went and ruined another Joker. When I got in there, and immediately I knew why those people were saying that. Because they were expecting to go in and see Batman and see that kind of thing.
We're not trying to see
I was
that
like,
again.
what? It's not. It was never meant to be a superhero film.
Yeah.
It was never meant to be that. It was a standalone film, like. And so I got it, and I was like, okay. I had to think back at the people that gave it a negative review. And I was like, oh, okay, I understand it now. But that film, so cool.
I loved it for the fact that it placed it in a context where it's not the elaborate comic book Joker where he gets all the tools and stuff. It's a man that is pushed so much that he's so human that he nearly died at the end, and when he raised back up and then he's like, he's the champion of the people. It's so sick. I love it.
You know what? It's dark and it's like we shouldn't be celebrating it, but the music and everything, that scene specifically, I was like,
this is where I think, as a whole, to be honest, I think that's where DC should focus more on their villains. Like,
they've got
got some dark,
they got some
sick
wicked, sadistic villains that could.
I think the source
focus on
material,
that, it's mad.
the source material. If we're talking just DC Marvel, as in like the comic books here, I personally think DC has a lot more to give than Marvel. Like what
the Batman villains to
Yeah.
themselves. Just
Yeah,
the Batman villains.
It's mad.
itself is so
It's
crazy.
actually mad. Yeah,
Because Marvel
100%.
is what the MCU's done and how they built things up. Yeah, they've got the right people in there doing the right things. But if they had that for DC, it'd be a very different story.
The conversation would be
very different.
Very
Bro, because I'm just saying, just the Batman villains alone, and the thing is, and in terms of even Superman has bad boy like Lex Luthor done properly, because he like in that
they
film
boiled it.
he was rubbish as well. That was
boiled
that's the same guy who played who did he play
Social
again?
Network,
My Man, yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes,
yeah.
he's not a Lex Luthor. Like I have to get a 50-year-old man that is sharp, that is cerebral, that is just bad boy.
Yeah, and again, that's not a knock on his acting. He's a great actor, but
It's
The
wrong
people
role.
above
gotta
letting him get
cast
the wrong
correct.
thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like his casting
DC
for that one.
rush too much. That's what I feel like they're doing. They're just rushing too much.
They got so much to work with though.
A
Villains
lot,
wise,
a lot.
because they got great heroes. They got the Batman, Superman, but it's like when you get into the villains, that's why the stories on DC are so brilliant, because you can create great stories with great villains and great heroes, because it's like you feel for the villain in a sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know that man are wicked. That
Yeah.
man are doing it for crazy
They have
reasons.
so much they can work with there, man. That's it's sad. It's sad to see that they're not using that to their full potential. But Joker was a banging film.
Joker was
Banging
cold.
film.
It was cold, yeah. Yeah. So bringing it back to the conversation on sort of like black people within the film industry and their space and what we could be doing here, specifically with British actors as well. Like we've gotten, I think we've had our own space within sort of the Hollywood scene for a while, but like there's more and more, like our generation, there's more and more coming in. I'd say probably your generation more. Like there's more people coming in and taking roles within Hollywood. Something that I think a lot of people more in America sort of bring up is like how British actors are taking more of the American roles and stuff.
Which is a stupid talk.
It's funny. It's funny. Well, first of all, what's your opinion on that?
I just have to laugh.
Yeah, I think it's such a stupid talking
I
point.
just have to laugh, man. Like I hear it. Who was it the other day? Is it Dr. Umar? Is that
Yeah,
what's
which,
that guy's name?
which I can't lie.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. That shot from me, because I'm thinking you're a Pan-Africanist. How can you be upset that other black people are getting roles of black people when we're the same family? We're the same family. I don't see no problem with it, because it's like they speak English, so it's.
You know what? They don't classify us Black British as black.
But some of
No,
them do. I
but
can't.
that's what I'm saying. But that's the ignorance with them over there.
Yeah.
Like,
Over there,
it's
they see us as
crazy.
British before
Yeah,
black.
You
it's
know what's
crazy.
when they talk about drill and our music and stuff, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
why is he say they don't have guns?
It's
Someone
crazy.
actually said they don't think you have guns.
Across the whole board, they see us as British before black.
Yeah.
But that's because
So
of the.
funny.
If you look
Wow.
at it, yeah, it's the same problem that happens in the Caribbean with like the African continent. If you the African continent and America, we're all being fed false propaganda about each other. So our opinions of each other are all falsified off of stereotypes. We think Americans are all dumb and gangsters because we're fed that in the media. Like us may have cousins.
Media plays a
And
big part.
in terms of like our cousins who we have over there, 'cause especially us Caribbeans, we all have a cousin in New York, or we all have a cousin in the South. You know what I'm saying? But we know they're all right, but everyone else is like they're ignorant, they're stupid. You know what I'm saying? So we need to try to reach out more to each other and link up. I agree with you. It's such a stupid talking point.
It's one that I never. I laugh about. I have to just laugh about it. It makes no sense, because even a while back, Samuel L. Jackson.
I saw that. Yeah.
Who was he talking about though?
I think
He was talking about Selma, the guy who plays Selma. What's his name again? Like was he not? I may be wrong with that. By the way.
I don't think it was that. You could actually be right, but it was the same. It was the same talking point where he was like, about a British guy playing a American slave. Oh no, it was
Daniel Kaluuya.
Was it Daniel?
Daniel Kaluuya. He got onto
Again?
Really?
About, it was Samuel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got onto Daniel Kaluuya about paying because it's American. That's an American-based film.
Which
Which
film
No,
were you
I
talking
think
about?
I think he was
No,
talking
that
about.
would've been-
Get out.
Are you talking about that?
Oh,
No,
really?
no. I think it was Chitwell. I can't.
I know
As a
you're talking
slave.
about. I know you're
I think
talking about.
Soldier was
Yeah,
a slave.
Soldier was a
He was talking
slave.
about- He was like saying about you don't understand what it's like to be
So
a slave or
ignorant,
whatever.
bro. Yeah, that's what I'm
And I was
saying.
like, oh,
No, you're right. So it was Selma, innit?
I
Selma.
think could have been. I don't.
Because
you
there
can't
was
hold
also
on that, yeah.
there was also
I
a
was just mad.
British guy who played Martin Luther King as well, innit? Who I think slayed it. I think him playing Martin Luther King getting that vocal projection to even talk like Martin Luther
In what?
King.
No, I don't.
In Selma.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, I've seen it. It's a brilliant
Okay,
film.
I'll watch that.
I think obviously because it's done by those big studios, we're not owned by us. They got bits historically wrong, but him portraying Martin Luther King was amazing because to even do the voice and get the projection, I think he embodied that. I think we should stop fighting because it promotes more division.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? It's such
nonsense.
a and that's why I said it shocked me from Dr. Umar because you can't claim Pan-Africanism and
Yeah,
get
I'm
onto
talking
other
nonsense.
people of African descent for playing someone of African descent. It's the same thing I'm saying, how can my man play Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. And I never saw this energy for Coming to America 1 or 2, which is all Americans playing continental Africans.
Yeah.
Even
Even down to that.
the accents were terrible.
Oh, they were.
Accents were
Right.
terrible.
As if they were playing it.
They
Nah,
weren't playing.
it
That's why I'm
were.
not.
No,
Bro,
it's- yeah.
that's why I've not. In terms of this new one, I've not watched because all the reviews I've said they're kind of taking a piss with the accents. I'm not watching it because it's foolishness. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna watch it because although it might be funny, it's like we need to stop.
It's not even that funny, my guy.
I'm not
It's my
seeing
number
it.
2 or 1.
Two.
Oh, 2. Okay.
I can't talk about
Yeah.
one.
No, I know. I was gonna say something like, yo.
One is an absolute classic.
Now it is, but I still think it goes off the stereotypes.
No,
of it.
100%,
Even worse back
100%.
then.
From then,
From then it makes sense.
I feel like, do you understand?
But
now, I feel like
Now,
we're
we-
more educated.
We know more.
Let's
we're
try
still
to step it
listen.
up.
And this is the point I made last week: is that a struggling people can't afford the luxury of art for art's sake. We need art that it's not that it all has to be uplifting, but we need a balance. Because I'm saying, in terms of our good art, it's just not negative. It's not even that it's positive. It's just not negative because it's still trauma related. It's still, and even in the stories we love, there's elements of trauma.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we need to address in black cinema because it's like we can tell a story and someone doesn't have to die. Someone doesn't have to have trauma from. Because I know that our black experience is characterized by trauma, but
we're part. Like we are past. In theory, we're past that. I feel like we're past that.
explain what you
Not
mean
in
by that.
terms of the actual how they're portraying us in the cinema. I'm talking about real life. I feel like we've come from the struggle and
To an extent.
Do you know
but
what I'm saying? To an extent, like there is billionaires that are black now.
I agree with
There are-
you,
do
and
know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, and I disagree with you in the sense of yes, in terms of financially, but there's a lot of trauma that's been passed down through our genetics. That's like psychological. Like
no,
we,
we talked about.
us are mentally enslaved a lot of the time.
Still,
A lot of us carry. That's the whole thing us were talking about earlier in terms of man are holding down other people that are black because they've learnt behavior from you know who. Man, not even need to say it because you don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. We're literally carrying attitudes of the people who've oppressed us, and then on top of that, we're literally holding ourselves back.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that yes, we have progressed, but no, we've not, because we're not even tackling the real root of the problem, which is our psychology. We operate, for most of us, of European psychology. A lot of us don't even know what it means to be of African descent or African. We don't. No clue. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a badge of shame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even claim African. That's why I've seen enough man say, oh, I'm not African, I'm this. And man are happy to claim the 1/16th of Cherokee in their blood or Indian, which is fine if it's there. But I've never seen you be happy to be black about that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that in terms of the progression of black cinema, I think we just need more people studying history so we can tell proper stories. Because there's a history before enslavement, colonialism, that no one puts on screen. And it's not characterized by trauma. It's stuff that all happened in like ancient Africa. So like in Ghana, in Mali, there's empires and stuff like that. That hasn't got anything to do with trauma. Like you can relate it in there if you want to. Because at this point, we just need some story like that. That's
At
why
the same time, though, a lot of us need to be willing and happy to see this stuff.
Yeah, because
That's to be able to, like,
what bro just said. That don't sell.
That's- and that's his-
But why don't that sell?
According to Hollywood.
You know
According to Hollywood.
Yeah, according
To Hollywood.
I'll say
you know
this.
what I mean?
Go on.
what sells according to
I
Hollywood?
agree with you, yeah, but
Tragedy.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'll place it in a different context. Why doesn't it sell? That's the question we got to ask, because who's told us that it don't sell? Because we can dictate the market. You know what I'm saying? We are the consumer. The consumer dictates the market. So if we're not urging for better stories, and from our own Black Rise, then from other people if they decide to tell it, we won't get them. And that comes from boycotting. Do you get what I'm saying? Or using your collective power to go, we ain't seeing this. We're not putting our money behind this. Or we're going to put our money behind this. But that comes from...
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think we're doing that.
Right now, no.
Well, okay, so my question within this topic was kind of like British film specifically, because I feel like there's more like aside from just the sort of trauma based media, so like Top Boy or the stuff that Ratman was doing with Blue Story and that,
which is a good film. I like it.
It's a good film.
It's trauma based.
It's the same kind of, you know what I mean. First of all, do you think there's something happening within this market, this scene, that's moving towards something that we've discussed, or do you think it's just gonna carry on doing the same thing, like people and specifically actors going, okay, let's do this and then we'll go to Hollywood? Like, is there sort of main thought, like the bigger picture is like Hollywood, we want to go there? Like, what? Like, how do you see it going?
I do feel that a lot of actors nowadays are starting to realize that Hollywood ain't the be all or end all kind of thing. There is stuff here for us kind of thing in it. But there's just not enough yet, and I think they understand that as well, that there's just not enough. And
enough in terms of like what, like just
enough stories being told and enough like job opportunities for the amount of us that there are here to the work that is here kind of thing. The ratio, there's just not enough to do. But it's that thing of where, because I even had to check myself the other day, the whole thing of when Top Boy is on, I'm there to watch it. Blue Story, I'm there to watch it. I couldn't really tell you any other like story that's done like by black people over here that I'm watching like that. That's British.
That's a big problem.
And it's mad because I don't think it's promoted enough, because I'm pretty sure there is stuff.
That's
out
what
there,
I mean.
but I don't think it's promoted enough.
Even down to black British love romance or anything like that.
Why don't we have a what's the film called? Love and Basketball. Best Man. Best Man Holiday. Like they've got a whole subsection of American films that are just black rom-coms. You got people
there's something here that I've seen, but I forgot the name of it.
Latham and Morris Chestnut. That whole subject, we don't have none of that.
Yeah, that's true, but
no, but then I don't think it's not we don't have it. It's not promoted enough.
It's not promoted.
Do you know what I mean? Because I know there's someone in my head something in my head that I've seen, and I know.
Young lady, man, that's doing all her stuff on like E4, like chewing gum. And
is it Michaela?
Even her, Michaela Cole. Yeah, even her.
I've never heard of it.
But this is what I'm saying. She does some very good stuff from what I've heard, but it's all on E4 and stuff like that. But it doesn't get promoted enough. I can sit here and say I haven't watched a single one.
One of them, yeah.
Which is mad.
I got to a season and then stepped out. It's about how we've been consumed from, like you're saying.
It's
what
been
we've been consuming.
But
like
Top Boy, I'm there and I've watched
Yeah.
everything. I've watched all the Top Boy.
But
You've been trying to get earlier.
and I'm saying that's the problem, because us lot have been programmed to operate that way. You know what I'm saying? This is real talk. We've been programmed to proper take. I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm better than you. But I do the same thing. When Top Boy comes out, man, I'm watching all 3 seasons. Cause do you get what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, as I am a victim of the same thing. But I think we now need to step out of it and say, why are we doing that? What's making us do that? And how can we change it?
At some point, as well, it is our reality, innit?
I agree with that.
It is our reality now, kind of thing. We do the stuff we see on Top Boy, we see daily.
It's real life.
We live through that, so I think that's what kind of draws us towards it. For one, and there is, like you said, there is other stories that we can tell, but there's just not enough of that happening. We see more of the gang violence. We see a lot more of the hood stuff than the positive side of things, innit? And it's crazy that we find positives within
negative
within the hood. Like we find our positives there. So it's not like we're watching it and we see Mandem on the block and we're thinking that's all negatives. Because how many times have you been on the block with your guys and you're chilling, but it's just all good vibes? Yeah. There's nothing negative going on there.
More time than there's me.
Exactly.
True, I'm not gonna lie.
But what we're seeing there and what others see on the screen is, it's just a gang. It's a group there, so it's a gang thing. It's violence immediately. How we change it, I couldn't give you the definitive answer for that, but we gotta just start. We gotta start getting together and knowing that we can write other things because we have other experiences.
I agree with you.
Like, we have other experiences.
I would just
100%.
I'll basically just say as well, I think a big part of it comes down to creating our own companies in that field. A lot of us are scared to do it because of the whole, we feel like, as you said, man, I have to go drama school, I need to go into the BAFTAs, and I need approval from these people to do X, Y, Z. If we start collectively using our power to start creating our own companies, trying to put up the money, then we can tell our own stories, because who can tell us not to put it out? But that takes time. That's not tomorrow.
It's education on the business itself, because if you don't know it, you're not gonna.
Yeah,
you're
like,
afraid
you're
of
right.
it. You're not going to do it. So, yeah, definitely like reading up on it. Within the industry, I don't know about like entertainment and that, but like I imagine it's the same thing as like just read up on the contracts, like who you're like what you're signing, you know, having the right lawyers behind you and the right just the right team. I think like what in terms of like sort of creatives, because like you said yourself, you're writing your own stories as well. Do you think it's also a case of building I'm sure there is probably a collective, but like a collective of writers and you know, black actors, writers, and
100%.
even just people within sort of like working on set. So like you were saying before, like makeup artists and people like that. Do you think it's a case of like building that within like a network within the UK?
Yes.
Yeah.
A big network is all interconnected.
Just
I
one
agree.
big network.
You have to. You have to.
I agree with that, 100%.
Like, get like for creatives, I've met so many different actors throughout my journey in it, and majority of them black actors like myself. So my starting point now, even look, JJ here, I know he does his filming thing. Yo, you film. I got my boy over here, he's writing.
Yeah.
I act, he also acts. I got this person here. Let's get together, sit down, come up with ideas, build that network.
Keep building it.
Keep building
Facts.
it. And then the stuff we go off and do separately, if we can grab someone else, oh, what, you do makeup when you're on set?
And you're sick,
Oh,
yeah.
come, we're doing something over here. Oh, you want to do directing? Come, just build that. Keep building it.
I
Keep
100%
building
agree
it.
with you. One thing I'm also going to add to it, even though kind of not exactly related, is I think as we're building this network, I think if we do have disputes, fine, it's human nature.
Happens.
Keep them out of public. If you're gonna, I always say to all black people, try to keep all disputes, if you can, off of any social media network, because it exacerbates everything. It makes everything worse, because there's no going back from man posting this and posting that.
And I feel like sometimes it just waters it down a bit as well.
I agree.
Like, it's not like, if a real,
See,
you know, like, it's not real. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just like, okay, man's gonna take it to the virtual world now.
And it's now like, oh, like I'm an internet bad man, and vice versa in terms of girls as well, and and the whole clubhouse thing, and I'm not with all that. I think we should. It's normal to have disputes. It's not no fairyland where man are all getting on. That's not real life. But if you have a dispute, say, bro, I didn't agree with how you did this business practice. It wasn't on.
Just keep it professional.
Keep it professional, because you don't need to take these attitudes which are negative and push them into a professional workplace, because we're still at a workplace. Do you get what I'm saying?
You gotta treat your work. It's creative and it's your personal thing, but you gotta treat it like a business.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
In every aspect.
It's what it is. You're taking it into the world, and you're trying to earn a living. You're trying to build something off of it. So you gotta treat it as if it's something that, you know, you can't just mess around with. You can't just have a moment and then put it on the internet and make it like a whole drama thing. And you know, you're talking about it in interviews or whatever. It's your business, so you gotta keep it.
Go into
for the
it
people,
like it took me a while to learn this, but you won't catch me in a regular job killing myself for another man's business. Like,
Yeah, I remember we had that conversation
yeah,
a couple years back.
bro. Remember that?
I remember.
I used to deep it like,
I'm all checking, bro. Like, how's that guy? He said, listen,
it's not
it
happening.
weren't me. I just had to leave that one
It's
there.
not happening. You see your mental? Hey, the moment you feel like that's going for another man's business who's there chilling on his yacht in the south of France or whatever. What are you doing?
One big
Get
company.
up
He's
and
not even
get-
running
are
it like
you
he's
mad?
letting his other people run it like
You have to climb how many different ladders to get to that guy?
What?
No way.
No.
No way.
Because it's literally the same
No
thing
way.
as going for a Waitrose. You might as well just go at a Waitrose or a
Go,
Tesco's or something.
bruv. That stress you're dealing with there, make that stress be for your own business.
Yeah.
If my mental's going mad because of my own work, that's different.
Turn that stress
That's
into
different.
motivation.
Yeah.
Words.
I can
So
switch to
you
something
can
else.
get stuff done.
Yeah.
But for
'Cause
me
if you
here
can
to
have
be
control on
stressing
yourself,
over
yeah.
your thing.
No.
And you don't care as much. I'm putting in
You don't
more
know
effort
my
than you.
name, like, and I'm here killing myself for you. There's no way. It's
I respect you.
It's
That's
impossible.
the one. Still, I've heard
It's
many people say that, and it's like
And it's even a time that our time is so valuable.
Very,
word.
very,
And
very.
I
valuable.
put 4 hours into that. 8 hours into that.
12 hours
16
into that.
A week.
Yeah.
Or
And then by the time-
It builds.
And
You're
that's
thinking-
what people don't get as well. Like, so you're here, you work whatever, 30 hours a week or whatever, yeah. But by the time you get home one night from doing whatever, 8-hour shift or whatever, you're tired.
You're not doing
And
anything.
you can't bother to work on your own dreams.
Your
and
side
goals.
hustle's
Yeah.
not happening. It's not happening.
Flip that. Put them 8 hours into your stuff. The man just call you, hey, relax. I'm gonna beat it. I'll get the job done. Like, I'm gonna get as long as you're getting your job done, but focus more on your stuff. Man.
I think that's a great point because I think a load of dreams die with people. Yeah, there's some people's dreams
They're
who you never
dreams,
know.
man, yeah.
Who you never know what they were. Like these people could have been. I'm trying to be an
caught in
artist,
that
like
system,
Van
man.
Gogh.
Yeah.
Scary.
That's
It's
scary.
true, though,
It's
no, it's
real.
real.
Like,
When you
what
do
does
speak to people like, and they're-
mum
yeah,
say?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like she says, like the richest place in the world is the graveyard.
I heard that saying
Yeah,
still.
because
That's
people's
what
dreams are all dead there.
Yeah. Do you know how mad that is?
Crazy, and it made me realize like I can't go to my grave and not even try.
Try.
Not even try. Like I've not even gone and attempted. Like what?
But then, see the flip side of that conversation, yeah? It's also a thing of like people trying to chase their passion and chase what they want to do. When you go into it with no sort of education, no sort of knowing of what you're trying to do, yeah, a lot of people end up failing. And it's for the same reason that, you know, you're trying to do the 9 to 5 and you're trying to just, you know, earn a living. It's because someone told you to. Someone gave you the blueprint and said, follow that and that's how you're going to live your life and you're going to be happy. And they go for the reason that, you know, someone said it, you know, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to have money, I'm going to have like family, I'm going to have this and this. But when they're on the way to it, you know, they falter, they get to a place where there's so many setbacks that they're just like, why am I even doing it?
The thing is, but that's the thing though, I feel like a lot of us need to just retrain our minds to think for ourselves.
Exactly.
Like,
Teach.
4 of us in here now, all our shit is different. Like,
Yeah.
whatever we want to achieve, it's all different kind of thing. There isn't one way for all of us to get to it kind of thing. What you were saying about blueprint there, like, it's okay if you want to get into something for money. That's your business.
That's fine.
That's fine. I'm not gonna knock you if you want to get into something just strictly for money, because for
It's
you,
you. Yeah.
money is the be it and it's everything kind of thing. And I get that. That's fine. But how do you now go about that to make that money? Like, if money's the focus, stay focused on it. Like, just stay focused on it and get it. For someone else, they might just want to get there because it's always been a dream and they just want to experience it. So now, make that the main reason why you're fighting for it. Don't start fighting for it because of the money that's involved or the opportunities or whatever. Like, don't get it confused. Follow your own path. Don't think because social media or someone over here is telling me, oh, this is where you got to do it because this is what comes at the end. No.
Yeah.
Like, and again, if like I said, I say money because it's always a big thing in it with everyone.
Yeah.
If someone's telling you, don't get into something for the money, but the money's why you're getting into it, what has that person got to do? They don't know your life.
It's a different circumstance. I'm just saying it's difficult because sometimes there's no, because we see a lot of people commit suicide, bare money. So
Yeah.
I agree. It should be your own personal driver.
Yeah.
You shouldn't let anyone dictate
Yeah.
you. But I think be careful of what your driver is and make sure you know what it is. So if it
Yeah.
is money, cool.
But that's what I'm saying. You gotta be comfortable with
Yeah,
it. Yeah, don't get
that's-
twisted. Yeah, you need to be
You
comfortable
need to know what
with
you're
yourself.
and
Yeah.
what it comes with.
Yeah.
Because it's not just
100%.
money and think my problems are gone.
Yeah, no,
That-
no.
That's not our life. And I wasn't even saying you're saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that people sometimes have this illusion that my problems go with money. You get a new set of problems, just like in life.
A whole new set with that. I hear
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's about aligning your goals with like sort of your values and your morals in life. Because if that's patterned, it's kind of a thing of like whatever you want to do. If it's money, if it's fame, I'm not judging you, of course. If that's what you want, that's what you want. Whatever it is, where the morals and the values come in, yeah. If they're aligned and they're right, and it's you're not in anyone's way. Like you're not harming anyone, and no one's harming you. Then I think that's just the way to go.
Yeah,
like,
take your journey, man.
And it will be a
your
journey.
like, because even on that journey, the reason why you're doing it might change. Like the
Multiple
reason why
times.
You're doing it might change. Like, but
Facts.
as long as you're staying true to you, that's alright. It's actually alright for stuff to change. But I feel like a lot of people are doing stuff because the socials are telling them to do it, or they want to be like this because
Like in these
this
icons,
person's
like
that.
they basically see their whole
Mad.
image.
Yeah, you're
Celebrity
you're putting
worship.
You always
unnecessary
see the
pressure on yourself.
innit?
Yeah.
You never see the negative side of that.
Yeah, you actually never. Them man never show you the negative stuff,
man.
bro. They never do it.
Yeah, happening all around you. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we could get into, but I don't know if we can get everything in.
Time.
Random question. What movie are you sort of looking forward to seeing? Like that's coming out. Movie, film, like movie, TV show.
I still need to see Kaluuya's new thing.
Did you
Judas
win an
and the
award
Messiah.
for that already?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, I need to actually watch
Interesting.
that. It's tight now because obviously cinemas ain't open. Me, I'm there. I have my Odeon card. This was coming out of the bin there.
You got the audience.
So, yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Listen.
Serious.
Listen. I don't play.
I've never had the Cineworld thing, bro.
Yeah.
I did.
Our black card,
did. Brother.
deep.
Yeah.
Bromley as well, you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be on.
Greenwich, Bromley.
Especially Bromley.
Yeah.
At Bromley, I contemplated it because I was there so much. But
Yeah,
I did it in the
yeah.
end.
Exactly.
Still.
Like
I
you
did
gotta
it
get
in the
that.
end. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, the Black Widow film, Scarlett Johansson thing, that's Marvel. A lot of it that I think of right now is just Marvel stuff. The Spider-Man at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of the way that this whole pandemic's hit,
You just don't know.
the like theatrical industry and stuff like that, the movie industry and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I'm not in tune with it as much as I was like in previous years. Like you asked me a couple years back, I was like, oh yeah, this one, that one. Like, I had a list, and stuff like that. But from what I do know off the top of my head, probably Black Widow's film, Spider-Man's thing at the end of the year. Yeah, those are two of the big ones that I can actually think of right now.
Okay. Yeah. Separately as well, what is mad random, but what do you think of like the sort of move towards streaming services, films coming out on like Disney Plus, Netflix instead of like actual like cinema? Like you're talking about you had the Odeon card, like you're ready to go to the cinema when it's open and everything, like you love the experience and that. Like what, like things moving towards digital like spaces now where it's just you're at home and you're watching it. Like do you care much, or do you think it's?
Nah, I'm not really fussed. It doesn't bother me. I would like for things to go back to some kind of normality when like there's a big movie premiere releases and stuff like that. I'd love for it to get back there at some point, but I understand that might not happen for a while, so I'm not too fussed. I think they've done well to adapt, and so that you can still watch it when on release day. You just gotta pay for it at home. So now I'm not mad at it. So I think it's a good idea, because other than that, we're hearing what you have to be waiting for them to push back the date, and we're never gonna see it. So I like the fact that they've adapted, and that's what's happening. But I would like some normality back at some point.
I hear that. Another random question. This might be a whole other episode, but James Bond, right? Bare people, like I think Daniel Craig now. This is his last film.
Yeah.
After this, have they selected anyone?
I still think they haven't.
Okay.
They haven't come.
That's
Yeah,
It's not confirmed.
I haven't heard a confirmed new one.
well, they've got time. They take time with anything, so it's fine. But the whole conversation around, we should have a black James Bond. We should have Idris Elba going into the thing. Do you feed into it? Do you like it? Do you think it should be? Do you think it should be Idris Elba or any other black actor? Or
I think with stuff like this, James Bond's never been written as it has to be a white man in it. So why not? I think if the actor's good enough and does a role, why not give him the shot? But at the same time, I'm not saying us as like the fans again, we shouldn't be having a massive uproar if they don't pick Idris kind of thing.
It's not that
like
deep.
It's really not.
it's the same thing we're talking
to
about, like
me,
having the fans and jumping.
Yeah,
We want that black
deep
James
to
Bond.
me because
Like,
at the end of the day, you're either gonna like it or not. If you feel if you personally feel, because they didn't pick Idris or they didn't pick another black actor, that
It's racist.
yeah, it's mad. Then don't watch the film.
Yeah.
It's simply just don't watch the film. You boycott it, and you and your group boycott it or whatever. I'm telling you this now. If Idris isn't the next one, if it's not a black guy, I've watched however many white James Bonds, and I will watch James Bond because I like James Bond.
I kind of agree with that perspective, but just a completely different angle in the sense of I don't think we should be concerned about it because it was written by Ian Fleming, who's white. It's about British people that are like, it's James Bond is British, bro. Like, let them man have their thing. Well, why don't we create our own black spy?
Yeah, if you're so concerned,
Like,
create your own.
Like, create our own black spy. Like, we
have
have
an
our
uproar
own
about
nations that have secret agents as well.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we do it?
Like,
and
we
I
can.
see this is the thing about acceptance from other people again that we're so concerned about. We feel as if we get a black James Bond, we'll get more accepted, which I think is a dangerous precedent to set because we're gonna keep jumping to each bar that they set. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think we should. And that's my own personal viewpoint of it. It's
We
like,
shouldn't have the assumption that as well. I don't think we should have the assumption that just because.
I feel like
Idris is now in 2022. The new James Bond.
yeah, like,
yeah.
Racism's now gonna stop.
people have
Yeah,
that.
because it's not- that's what I'm
People are
saying.
crazy. People
Yeah.
will say, "Oh, because that's the whole royal thing with Meghan Markle. They're now like that history of that family." That's why I wasn't too concerned with what's happened because I'm like, I know the history of that family.
Yeah, if you now look back at it, you shouldn't.
I'm not trying to be
Shouldn't
wanted
be
to buy them.
surprised by
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be accepted by them. Like, you get what I'm saying? I know what this nation's history is. I'm not going to hark on to it because that's a different episode. What I will say is that we should just focus on our own thing. Like, and like if you like James Bond, watch the film regardless.
Yeah,
Because
like-
you've seen 200 million white James
Bro,
Bonds.
you've seen it from the jump.
And it's their thing. Like,
I feel like a lot of the uproar is coming from when it's on the flip side of stuff. So something that's written for a person of colour, or you see a white man play it sometimes. You're like, raw, wait, hold on.
yeah.
that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
That's
Like,
mad.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I get your anger and I get your frustration kind of thing, but it's just as simple as if you are not happy with it, don't watch it. Don't support it.
Even the thing on, because there's another black actress that's in the film already. She's playing a character that's labelled 007. There were people talking about saying 007s. No, 007 should be James Bond. James Bond is 007. That's iconic. Then I think the people came out and it came out as like 007 is actually not James Bond. That's
It's a
just
code.
the code.
It's
It's
an
the
agent
code.
code. Like, this is
You
saying.
know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
concerned about nonsense.
Yeah, it's long, man. It's
is.
long, but as humans, this is what we do.
Jump on the internet and bark at everything
man.
like it's mad.
This is what I'm saying in terms of reading everything. It's essential. Like, just understand stuff. Like, people need to just read more. I feel like people don't read enough. Cause they jump out. You know, a big man thing. You see man just jump out their chair and like if you'd have waited and read what they said, you're going, okay, that makes sense because it's not really an actual James Bond thing. It's a code. Yeah, but you've jumped out your seat now. You've created internet uproar, and now everyone's upset.
There's too much of that, and there's too much of the whole cancel culture on the internet.
That's foolishness. I can't stick by that because you lot don't even stick to your own cancel
100%.
You lot were saying Daniel Caesar's cancelled, but I'm seeing baby go, I got my peaches out in Georgia. Get out of here. I don't respect none of that, bro. Man, I'm talking about like it's all and it's all picky and choosy who's cancelled. Like
100%. They're not organized. I don't know who is cancel culture. Like I don't know who sets up. There's like a council and they say, okay, we're gonna select today who is cancel. There's none of that.
No one will ever
There's
know.
none of that.
They're all behind their screens.
Do you know what I mean? It's a group of people on the internet, Twitter fingers just.
I'm
like
saying
that.
I completely understand being angry at a hateful comment. That makes sense, but cancel them for something they said 15 years.
You gotta take time and deep it. That's the thing I don't like about social media. It's so in the moment. You're gonna
It's all that.
jump right into an opinion right there and then, but not actually take in what's going
It's the
on.
way they go about it as well. They think, okay, that person's done something wrong. I can do anything to them now. But at the end of the day, that person's still a human. So what you're criticizing them for? Have you seen the actions you're taking?
And you
Back
probably
to the
done
whole
worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or you probably done the same thing. I was seeing enough, man, during this whole during this whole party they had, not party, literal party, but on Twitter, you lot remember late last year, man, them were finding people's old tweets and saying, see, you did it, and then
Who was it? Like Young Philly,
everybody,
Everyone-
everybody
everyone-
catching
everyone-
a brother,
everyone-
everybody
everyone-
grabbing a brother,
Everyone's getting
everyone.
caught.
But it's not just that. It's not just that. It'll be like, I swear this is you. Quote tweet, saying the same
The
thing.
same person. getting
I swear
grabbed
this
as
is
well.
you.
Yeah.
I saw about 25 tweets of, swear
Yeah.
this is you.
Now there was enough calling.
Yeah,
Said,
bare,
yeah, words.
bare.
These are just bad people just going,
Yeah,
like that Spider-Man
what it is,
meme where man are just like,
yeah,
but I'm putting
Trying to be like,
I'm thinking it's cool. As human beings, we judge. I can't say don't judge. We judge. I make prejudgments. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Yeah, we all
but
do.
just
We all
withhold if you're doing the exact same thing, because it's like you can't throw bricks in the glass house type of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, it's just a thing of like, watch what you do on social media, because it's not just you, it's tens of thousands of people doing the same thing at once. All for one person to read it and go, oh shit.
This is awful.
Like all on them, like negative, hateful comments on one person.
yeah.
We're not supposed to be, we're not built to take that much interaction from people at once. Not like that.
It's
like
unnatural.
it's a thing of like, obviously we're built to communicate and to be social and that, but at a level where it's healthy for us. When there's tens of thousands of people
More
joining
than
out
that, hundreds of
for a
thousands
tweet from
somewhere.
2013, I look what you bro,
and
what?
if you're not strong-minded and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
It
Finish,
takes
man.
it there.
Yeah,
It takes it
I've seen a
there.
lot of people go. I'm not gonna say what I was originally gonna say, but like, just be gone after that. I'm gonna say that. Be gone after that, because that pressure to them it's a lot.
Too
And
much,
I don't
too
know what
much.
I'd do if I had 10,000 people. Me personally, I'll probably just like my phone switch off and then, because I'm not really a phone person anyway. So I'm like, I've got a reason to switch off my phone. All right, then come back in like 4 weeks and be like, you're not still talking about
It's the
this.
next and as well, they'll draw people out, and then the next subject is
Calm.
the next day.
And
You try to cancel my man. Next day, someone else. Next day is someone else.
And I'm seeing you lot have different yardsticks for different people. Like, I'm seeing man come back and make music and say, like if it was true, rare, tear. We know the song.
Man knows what he's saying.
We know the song.
Man
I'm
saying
not even gonna say what it is. We know the song. We know the situation. I don't even
Yo.
And this is so funny, bro.
brother. And it's not, you know what, it's not even just my man. My man is one of a few people that's done it. I can't even just say my man. My man is one of a few people that's got into a situation and made a song about it. Even the song No Better. That's after the situation. Do you like the actual context of what happened is?
yeah.
I'm not even gonna say it because
I think you know what? I feel that just how you brought that up, that is the best way to capitalize ever.
yeah, I can't
My
lie.
man done the best way. After No Better,
I can't lie, and he
the
went,
best.
He went there.
He went gone.
Skyrocket.
He
God
went
said, God said,
Skyrocket.
God
He
put him
went
in
there.
that situation, and then he's gone.
You know where it was? It's the fact that in terms of the truth, people don't care about the truth. Like if the lie is more entertaining, I don't know what the truth is. But that
But he
aesthetic
said-
of how it looked
Yeah.
is, oh my days, such and such happened
Yeah.
after such and such. It's a mad thing. Oh my days, he responded and it happened like this, and there was other tidbits.
I'm just talking about, forget all of that shit. I'm just talking about straight. You turned a negative
Into positive.
into a exceptional positive.
But that's how you know it was written, because he's now thriving now.
yeah,
He's turned into a superstar now. And yeah, and you know what? I do respect him for not going down after that, because that's an embarrassing thing.
because some people have gone down after certain
Yeah, you
situations.
crumbled stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's a big thing. After you put out the content you put out, someone basically challenges you on that and said, what happened here? Then you are able to come out and fight back. It's like, you know what, I respect his insight, even though it's negative in terms
Yeah.
of what it is.
Yeah.
Like it entailed. You know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah.
But it's a dangerous thing, social media. We've got to be careful of it.
Take your time.
Very careful. Yeah, I only got one more question, but it's just random. It's another favorite question.
Go on.
I love it.
Favorite actor, or at least like someone that you look up to, and you're like, I'm trying to do something like you one day.
Favorite Denzel.
What's that?
Give me a black hand for that one still.
Like,
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you
seen
said
them
that.
thread on Twitter recently of a man or a person who understands the assignment. Denzel.
Yeah. He
Always
understood the assignment.
Bro,
Listen, Denzel.
I've not seen him miss yet.
I ain't seen.
Malcolm,
I ain't seen.
he did like Hurricane.
Yeah.
He plays real life people very well, you know.
But you know what's so good about Denzel's acting? You always see Denzel, but the character as well.
He
Like,
reinvents it.
Yeah.
You know it's
like,
Denzel, but you
it's,
know
it's
my man.
Yeah.
Like he played
You
Malcolm
see
X, that's
Denzel, but you
big.
don't see Denzel. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like John Q, Training Day, Book of Eli,
Training
Fly,
Day.
like
Fly.
Fly. He just has bangers
can't
after
lie.
bangers after bangers.
It might be his best role because the emotion he brought to that and it's just the fact that man had nearly lost his job and he had to come there and he nearly cried. Everything for me was a perfect scene. That scene,
Even up to the court date.
brother, I'm talking the court date scene, bro. I'm talking
God.
after the mad thing. Talking about the court date scene where man come in and he's having to hold himself up like a man. I said, yo.
Even it was even hours before, it was minutes before.
Yeah,
This
literally.
guy was on. What was he on? Coke? Was it Coke? He just taken
Alcohol
Coke.
as well.
and
Alcohol.
he just back.
He just.
Yeah, when he actually went back for it, yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
but it's real. It made so much sense that he did that.
Heart-wrenching.
as well.
Still was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, that ended.
Yeah, it's heart-wrenching.
Just bangers after bangers after bangers.
He ain't missed, bro.
Denzel.
He ain't missed.
Like, hands down.
I salute that still. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, man. I think that's mainly what we can cover today. Did we want to do the R&B question?
Got one more in it. Got one more question.
When the man them looked at each other, this one looks like
One more question.
Yeah.
All right. We can understand because you're on camera, you might not give us an honest answer. So we're gonna place it in the right context. Alright. Who's a woman you would break dance in the rain for?
Wait,
No. Okay. Let me set the scene.
In fact, you can set the scene. Go on.
Right. Oxford Circus Station, right? It's raining. Overcast. It's an ugly day. You see them dancers that hang around by the station and they're doing the little... Yeah. You're there, right? You're enjoying it. You're watching it, yeah? And you're just vibing. You're like... You're kind of like trying to do the moves a little key. Like, you're vibing and that, yeah? You see a sweet one walking by across the road, right? By Top Shop, yeah? The rain's coming down, it's the middle of the road, yeah? They start playing You Remind Me by Usher. You. You're thinking, yo, she's about to go around the corner. It's my time. I need to bust out the moves real quick. What I'm just seeing on what they're showing me, I need to do it real quick. She needs to notice me. I'm the one.
You didn't have to do the tone of voice.
I'm the one.
You didn't need to do the tone of voice. The tone of voice was brazen.
You are literally about to go out in the middle of the road and dance like you're Usher, yeah? Like you're raging. Who is the one that you're dancing for? It can be anybody, by the way. Celebrity, and they probably won't watch it. Artist, actress.
If there's one female that always my go-to.
Right, you sound deep as well, you know?
Serious.
I don't need a long.
Let me give him a black hand for that one. That's a great choice. Let me give him a black hand for that one.
When I first saw Nia in Love Jones,
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
baby,
My food
can I
big
be
like
your
me alone.
slave? Listen, I'm there.
I actually love the answer to that question. There was no because I was about to bust you and say, you know what? If you need a baddie, we got you. If you need a baddie,
Nia
we
can
got
see
you.
me. I want Nia to know, hey, baby.
Baby.
Yeah, nah, me alone.
Leave her alone. No, not Bally. You'll just do it.
I'm there.
You said no value.
No Bally.
Yes, no Bally. I'm gonna give you a black hand for that one. I'm gonna give you a black hand for that one.
Aye. Yeah,
Man,
that's yours. It's been lovely.
So,
Thank you very much.
love the time, bro. It's been a brilliant conversation. I hope you lot enjoy it because we had a blast. It
was fun, man.
Hot
Our
Tep
first
again.
guest.
Peace and blessings. Everyone stay blessed during this time. You know what I'm saying? Good seeing you, bro.
I
Love.
love for that.
Very good seeing you, man.